Next up, David Esrati. All right, who's surprised to see this? All right, David loves Dayton, although Dayton may not love him. In his spare time, I want everyone to know David wrote this, not me, okay? All right, David hangs green basketball nets on courts across the city. With over 20 years of losing elections behind him, he never stops pushing to change the way things are done in the city with his often blunt, and as he likes to call it, unfiltered blog, Esrati.com. For anyone in the public eye, it's almost a rite of passage to be his blog subject. His Twitter account was named one to follow by the Dayton Business Journal, and people generally love him or hate him in an odd way, which is an odd way to position his ad agency, The Next Wave, which is, of course, one of our sponsors. Nevertheless, his 20 by 20, How to Piss People Off, may not be quite what you expect. Ladies and gentlemen, David Esrati.
Jill actually wrote part of that, so I better get going. Thank you, Ron. You are eminently qualified to be an MC. According to major news outlets in the city, I am an expert at pissing people off. All of you smart people would be really pissed off if I stood up here and talked about something about organic byproducts, something I don't know shit about. All right, this isn't the city commission I first went to for help after I'd bought a shitty house and gotten taken to court for fixing it up. Same place, 29 years later, same strategy. People get incredibly pissed off when they feel ignored. It forces them to do things that might get some attention. Yeah, this was the second donning of the mask. The first time I never got to the podium. Arrested before I got a chance to speak. You can make fun of the mask all you want, but a few points. No one would have said anything if I was a Muslim woman in a burqa. And the picture wouldn't be hanging around the internet if I was wearing a baseball cap. Sometimes you piss people off by just getting more attention than them. Or winning. Winning is everything, unless you're the loser. Winning pisses people off. 2.5 years in the courts, most of the money go to lawyers. 5 courts said I was right, but somehow I'm still the GOAT for standing up to the city commission when they tried to stop citizen participation in meetings. They still hold illegal secret meetings in violation of the charter 20 years later. And no, I am not going to talk about myself in every slide. Talking about yourself and telling people how brilliant you are will piss people off, even if it's true. I listened to Steve Wozniak do this. I left liking him less than when I went in. He was the brains that invented Apple Computer. Okay, great. If you're so smart, stop talking and cure AIDS. Arrogance. The reason people like Spider-Man is because he's got power, but he's never overconfident. Confidence, arrogance, it's a fine line. Take it from me. I stomp on this tightrope daily. Try not to be arrogant. It generally pisses people off. Speaking of arrogance, this next guy, he knew how to piss people off. So bad, they threw him out of his own company, only to have to buy his new company, crawling on hands and knees to get him back. Call him a jerk all you want, but to his credit, he was never indecisive. You know, ideas are currency. Stealing them, taking credit when none was due, it's bad karma. Plagiarism falls into this category. There are no blurred lines. When it comes to this, well, some people can do it, and it can be very expensive. When the Dayton Daily News reads my blog, then writes the story without giving credit, it pisses me off. There's an old adage, give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach him how to fish, he eats for a lifetime. People who steal people's tools, the stuff that puts food on the table, there's a special kind of hell for them. This was my office after 3 dirtbags stole my shit. So, stupid, it is preventable. But to share one of my favorite lines, God must have loved stupid people, he made so many of them. If you're ever in need of entertainment, or for some of you inspiration, I highly recommend reading the annual Darwin Awards. No one has ever said illiteracy was overrated. Stupid is a conscious choice. Okay? I've already pissed some of you off, I'm sure, by not having my numbers in order. Now you're all wondering, is this jerk cheating and showing 21 slides or not? Unequal enforcement of rules pisses people off. I was prosecuted by the city for putting up wood grain vinyl garage doors against the rules, yet the same doors were on a judge's house in the Oregon district. For some people, the rules are the rules. Others question them. Rosa Parks was a 42-year-old seamstress before she pissed a lot of people off on her way to becoming a civil rights icon. Civil disobedience started this country, yet many of us are too apathetic to take a stand. or as in Rose's case, sit down. There's a fine line when pointing out mistakes. Do it right, and they thank you. Do it wrong, and you're a dick. It's a matter of tact, something I'm not, anyways. And typically, it depends on if you do it in public or private, if you suggest solutions or just criticize. I'm fascinated with how coaches get the best out of players despite constantly yelling, pointing out mistakes. You can't do that. Says who? Putting up political signs on public property is illegal, but most politicians do it. I put up useful basketball nets with a small sticker taking credit and offering to replace the net and got called on the carpet by the school board lawyer for electioneering, while endorsed candidates routinely put huge yard signs on school property. This photo is pretty mild compared to other ones, but you get the idea. People can be mean to other people and will shrug it off. Hurt a dog or a cat and you're a monster. Need proof? A petite woman was attacked and killed by some vicious dogs. The owners got their wrists slapped. Yet we send people to jail for mistreating animals. Time is the only thing we don't get a do-over on. While other cultures take a different approach to time, it's important here. PK was invented with strict limits of 20 slides, 20 seconds each, because 2 people got sick of people wasting their time with long, boring presentations. Are we bored yet? Tonight? No? Okay. Making assumptions about people is a real easy way to piss people off. Showing 2 asses making another ass may also offend a few people here, as well as using swear words like ass or the F word. I may be making an assumption, but this is probably the first PK with a photo of donkeys fucking. So, to follow donkeys fucking, mixing religion with politics is a recipe for disaster. No matter what you mix these two, and it's guaranteed to piss someone off. No one elected God to run the government unless you're the Pope, the Dalai Lama, or Jesus. Leave the religion in church. Can I get an amen on that? Amen. All right. Even if the dog did eat your homework, wasn't it your responsibility to keep it away from him? Failure to accept responsibility is one thing. Pointing fingers just pisses people off. I've tried to make a difference in Dayton by responsibly pointing out stupid moves, and I take responsibility for pissing people off. A friend likes to say, I live for it. And in reality, if we didn't do things to piss people off, nothing would ever change. It's the people who go against the grain, march to the beat of a different drummer, insist that things don't have to be the way they are, that make the world a better place. So go piss someone off, or a lot of people off. Thank you very much.